So everyone, I think we can start. Everyone, just let's pray before getting started. Okay. So everyone, simply sit straight, and we'll start with a prayer for everyone. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. Rub your hands onto your eyes. So, with this very prayer, we just said that may everyone grow together, may everyone learn together. So, even like we all are connected, so let's grow and evolve together. When we talk about evolution, the major evolution that we can understand or we should be going forward is the evolution of consciousness. है ना? तो हमारा एआई है वो भी इवॉल्व हो रहा है, उसकी कॉन्शियसनेस को हम डेली न्यू न्यू करते जा रहे हैं, कितना एडवांस करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, एवरीथिंग इज हैपनिंग राइट. व्हाट अबाउट आवर कॉन्शियसनेस? क्या हम ह्यूमन कॉन्शियसनेस को उतना एडवांस कर पा रहे हैं? आई थिंक एक ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस जो एआई बना सकता है, जिसकी पहुंच इतनी है कि जस्ट ऑन अ वन क्लिक इट कैन टेल एवरीथिंग विच इज देयर ऑन दिस अर्थ. Of course, whatever is feeded and coded already, or maybe they're in it as in saved, right? तो ऑब्वियसली हमारी कॉन्शियसनेस का भी ऐसा लेवल होना ही चाहिए, इनफैक्ट होता ही है, जिसके अंदर with one click or with one thought you can actually reach any information which is there on this earth, right? So this is also possible. So with this, we'll start with the stages of consciousness. So I'm sharing the screen here again, and yeah, consciousness and its levels. First of all, what we understand by consciousness. कॉन्शियसनेस को हिंदी में चेतना भी कहते हैं, चैतन्यता भी कहते हैं. ओके, सो देर इज अ वेरी हेयर लाइन डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीज. तो जब आपको मैंने पढ़ाया था लाइक कि हमारे पास एक कोई भी चीज है, सपोज जड़ पदार्थ है. व्हाट डू वी मीन बाय जड़ पदार्थ? इज अ मैटर. ओके, which cannot move on in its own, which has no consciousness, which is not like aware about its surroundings. Okay, but when we talk about Chetna, the moment it enters something which is matter, it starts to live. Okay. You have already taught about living and non living organisms. And definitely within the living organism, there must be something which can be called as consciousness. But this is even much more greater than that. Okay. This consciousness is Chaitanyata, Chiti Shakti, and is known by many other names. Chiti Shakti is actually the Purush, okay, and the Prakriti that we talk about. हमने पूरा सांख्य सिस्टम बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ चुके हैं, जिसके अंदर you have understood the 25 tattvas or the 25 elements already, right? अब कॉन्शियसनेस के लेवल्स, आप अगर साइकोलॉजी के साथ कनेक्ट करने की कोशिश करोगे, तो you'll find that in psychology we have consciousness as a different term. उसको हम अलग तरीके से यूज करते हैं. We use consciousness as a different term. कैसे? वहां पे it's more about how aware are you and whether your waves of your brain पे depend करता है, like whether you're conscious, unconscious, or at what consciousness level. Okay. And you have also learned about altered conscious states, right? यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा अलग है. यहाँ पे you have to simply understand it as if a person with a consciousness and कितना उसका रिफाइनमेंट हो गया है, उस रिफाइनमेंट के बेसिस पे, उस कंसंट्रेशन के बेसिस पे वो कितना अपग्रेडेड है, कितना इवॉल्व है, कितना स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड है और कितना एनरिच्ड है, या फिर यूं कहो कि कितना ज्यादा वो हायर लेवल पे या हायर पोटेंशियल पे पहुंच गया, राइट? सो हियर चित अवस्था, अवस्था मीन्स द स्टेट और द स्टेजेस, राइट? सो इट्स यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है ह्यूमन माइंड फील्ड. चित्त इज बेसिकली, अब चित्त का भी मैं आपको वैसे तो बता चुकी हूँ, योग चित्त वृत्ति निरोध. Chit is something that you can also say as a storehouse of everything which comes from your prior experiences. That means unconscious, which comes from your brain. यानी कि अभी भी आप जो सुन रहे हो या फिर पहले से जो रिकॉर्डेड है, जो भी मेमोरी में है, एवरीथिंग वो भी उसके अंदर एड ऑन होगा. ओके. Then comes your man. Man means whatever you desire. Okay, मन वो जिसके अंदर एक शक्ति है, इच्छा शक्ति. और of course, जैसे कि आप पढ़ ही चुके हो, that it's the 11th sense out of those 11 senses, the head of senses, or you can say the team leader. Right. So it is what drives senses and वही एक मीडियम का भी काम करता है. When your senses, you are seeing me, आप जो भी हमारा ये ऑनलाइन चल रहा है इसके अंदर आप देख तो पा रहे हो, बट हो सकता है आपका माइंड कहीं और हो तो आप इसे समझ नहीं पाओगे. बट द मोमेंट योर माइंड इज हियर, ओनली देन यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. ओनली देन यू विल बी एबल टू सी एंड इन फैक्ट टू लुक उस तरीके से जिससे हम कह सके कि अंडरस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेक्ट पे आ गए हैं. ओके. सो एज पर पतंजलि योग सूत्रस एंड ऑफ कोर्स बहुत सारी जगह लिखा हुआ है. जो आपने तीन गुण पढ़े थे ना, द सत्व रजस तमस, विच आर द क्वालिटीज ऑफ प्रकृति, based on their dominance, based on their levels, these consciousness are stated, derived, or explained. Done. So we have five states of consciousness or five avastha of chit. So in case it will be asked, it will be asked like, what are the five stages or states, mainly states particularly of chitta or consciousness. We'll start with kshipt. Now listen very carefully because you are going to be like psychological professionals, and you can be counselors or clinical psychologists or maybe into OB or whatever. I think these are the things that you can relate well. First is Kshipt Avastha. I wrote it on the board and it's there in your group as well. It is distracted or restless state. Okay. Can you, before I tell you what it is, can you tell few disorders which are related to this state? इसी से आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि इसमें कौन कौन से disorders हो सकते हैं. Here the symptoms are already there. Agitated, restless. Yes, say.
ADHD.
ADHD, very good. What else? Perfect, perfect. Who said ADHD?
Ma'am, Sana.
Sana. Thank you. What else? Keep going, keep going. ADHD, autism, and some. Anyone else?
मैम वो एंजाइटी डिसऑर्डर्स होते हैं
Very,
जो
very good, Sarthak. Yes, anxiety disorders, especially the ones which are not of a mild disorder but severe ones. Yes. Any other thing? Even the psychotic disorders like schizophrenia, and if a person is going through other such disorders, it also comes under Shipt Avastha. Done? So which element is dominated here? It's Rajas. Rajas yaad aa raha hai? The fire element or the movement or because of which everything is moving. Rajas किससे बनता है, कैसे है, सारी चीजें आपको याद आ रही होगी, right? So Rajas is actually very high here. यही central है. ठीक है. तो फोकस नहीं बन पाएगा, एक थॉट से दूसरे थॉट में जाएगा, and the people will not be able to understand, and such people are into these disorders which can be called as into the abnormal categories. And one of the major disorder that you didn't mention is mania. Okay, got it. Next is mood avastha. Mood means dull or stupefied. Okay, now tell what all disorders you can relate with it. So it's the second level or the second state in which tamas is very high. Which state would it be? Yes, Priyanshi, Manya, Atmika, Shifa, Advait. Say at least. If tamas is high and the person is very dull, which disorder can it reflect?
पैरानोया हो सकता है क्या इसमें?
Paranoia is more into kshipt only and vikshipt as well, that you're doubting. But the person is very dull. He doesn't want to talk. He just wish to like stay on his bed or maybe not do anything. What would that be? Very easy. Is it of Kshiptavastha?
Ma'am, depressive disorder.
Very good. Thank you so much, Nana. So, exactly, this is something known as depressive disorder. So, if a person is sleepy, confused, the person will be having low IQ and the person will be depressed. Okay, so these are few of the things that can happen if tamas is dominated. But at the same time, if this tamas is dominated, but shift is also there, now the person can be harmful. Shift is also there. Okay, so tamas is high, inertia is there, dullness is there, the person is lazy, there is lack of clarity and is ignorant as well. Okay, so this is tamas being high. Next is vikshiptavastha. Okay, so it is partially concentrated and oscillating, and most of the human beings are there in this avastha only. Okay, so we all are in this avastha. Central में we have sattva. Center में sattva है, but sometimes tamas comes in, sometimes rajas comes in, and what happens then? Sometimes we feel like not doing anything. We are so dull, we are so inert, and sometimes we are like very high with our emotions, very high with our thoughts. Sometimes we just overthink and we act as if everything has gone wrong, so we become agitated at times. So these all happens in vikshiptavastha. But sometimes, as I repeat the word sometimes, because central means sattva only. We all know that we have to do the good things. We all know that we are aware of what we are doing, what we have to do. And with the sattva, we want to do good only. But we can be disturbed like a butterfly. Sometimes it sits there, sometimes it sits there, but from inside, the butterfly is pure and is very serene and good and beautiful. Okay. It is the beginning of the spiritual path, so we all can begin our spiritual path where we are trying to concentrate, but sometimes we may get distracted as we all are doing. Next comes ekagra. Ek means one, everyone knows it. Ek means one, and agra means pointed. Done. So the mind is focused on a single point or an object. This means a deep meditation. And one of you also asked in my class that how is it possible? How can you maintain the focus on a single point or an object? Okay. So there are some differences between flow, meditation, concentration, mindfulness. Okay, ये चार जो शब्द हैं, चार जो words हैं, you must know what are the differences between them. First is a concentration. Concentration means to be one pointed, to stay there with all your senses. And it is like not fluctuating, not flickering. So the mind here is not flickering anywhere. Okay. For example, if I say everyone be focused on one point on this slide. Okay. But how long will you maintain that focus? That is the thing. So the more you can maintain that focus, you'll be in the avastha which can be called as a concentrated avastha, right? But it is still not one pointed. Why it's not one pointed? Because it happens in deep meditation. If you'll keep concentrating, then you'll go into that deep meditation. Now, how can a person like be there in this state of meditation? Is when you know what is that one tattva which is there everywhere. अब मैं आपको इसका एग्जाम्पल बताती हूँ. आप में से बहुत सारे लोगों को पेंटिंग पसंद होगी, राइट? या फिर डांसिंग या फिर ऐसा कुछ कंसंट्रेशन वाला काम भी पसंद होगा. तो व्हेन यू डू दैट वर्क यू गो इनटू अ स्टेट ऑफ फ्लो जिसमें आपको पता नहीं चलता है कि कब टाइम बीत गया. यस, कैन आई सिंपली नो दैट हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर इनटू आर्ट्स? एनीवन? You like art or something? Harsha Yadav or maybe Drishti. Yes? Sarthak Kapoor is there, Rishabh Dey is there, Drishti is there. Very good. Okay. That means you all are there into arts. So whenever you go and do these arts, you feel a sense of meditativeness, right? That's a state of flow and not a deep meditation, because then you come out of it. आप पेंटिंग करते हो, उस टाइम बीइंग के लिए आप उसमें फ्लो की स्टेज में चले जाते हो और फिर वापस आ जाते हो। ओके, आपको अगर बोला जाए कि बहुत अच्छे से यू जस्ट हैव टू लाइक पुट वन थ्रेड इन द नीडल for that time being, that moment you'll be very concentrated and you try to like put that thread into the needle and then you move it out. Okay, that's a concentration that can happen. फिर आता है mindfulness. Mindfulness means whether you are aware about yourself, about your surroundings, about the things around you. Now, everyone, whether you are sitting on a chair or a table or you are on your bed, just check yourself whether your spine is straight. Check yourself whether your legs are in a comfortable position or not. Check, just be aware of your breath. Just be aware of your surroundings. Look at the stuff which are there around you in your home or wherever you are. Okay, so the moment you do it, you become aware. That mindfulness of being in present is something else, right? And finally comes meditation. So first comes mindfulness, second comes concentration, third comes flow, and then comes the deep meditation. What is this meditation? When there is no distraction at all. You don't know where the time passed. And of course, not into the reels. Okay, that's not a state of flow, but of course, that's something that takes your senses without your awareness, right? That's not the way out. Okay, you have to be mindful at the same time. But in concentration or in deep meditation, what happens? That single point of object is there. And it's the initial stage of samadhi जहाँ पे सिर्फ और सिर्फ सत्व है, कोई तमस नहीं है, कोई रजस नहीं है. दैट मीन्स थॉट्स नहीं आ रहे हैं. मैंने आपसे कहा था ना एक बार कि ऐसी भी स्टेज आती है व्हेन थॉट्स आर नॉट कमिंग, और एक तो वो स्टेजेस के अंदर थॉट्स आर कमिंग एंड यू आर जस्ट बीइंग अवेयर, यू आर लाइक वॉचिंग देम एज इफ अ थर्ड पर्सन इज वॉचिंग. हिंदी में इसको कहते हैं जिससे लाइक ए थर्ड पर्सन, एक तरीके से देखना. ठीक है, सो इट इज फोकस्ड ऑन अ सिंगल पॉइंट. So it's in deep meditation. Sakshi Bhav, we call it in Hindi. Okay. So the concentration is very high. It's the initial stage of samadhi or fully absorption of cognitive self. Okay. So it's a self-absorption state. Next is Niruddha. Can you imagine a state in which all the fluctuations are silent? No thoughts, nothing is coming, and it's beyond this sattvic parinam. So even sattva is not there, tamas is not there, rajas is not there, sattva is not there. That means it's not influencing you anymore. Okay, so this total control of the mind is known as samadhi or self-actualization that Maslow has also talked about, but people have interpreted it as something of achieving a great state or your human potential. But eventually, the highest potential of the human potential is this self-actualization of absorption, right? So this is Niruddha. Okay, Ruddha means obstacle or something that comes in. Nirodha means no. So there is nothing which is controlling or nothing which is like hampering you or is disturbing you. You are being in your true self, the swastha avastha, swa mein sthit avastha. Okay, this is what comes after yoga. Chittan vritti nirodha. All the vrittiyas or all the fluctuations are now stopped. Now, I think I must show you this very image, which is easy to understand for your remembrance. Shift. So we are revising now. Shift is a monkey mind. First yogic state, very restless, very distracted by external, internal stimuli, no stability, and meditation and yoga nidra, nothing can be like done in that sense. Okay. Next is mood avastha. It is donkey mind. Very much dullness, laziness, mental fatigue is there, depression is there, poor concentration is there. Sorted? What is there in mood? Can any, in fact, everyone, please say, what is there in mood, Havista? Which element is high? Which quality is high? Sat, Raj, or Tam?
Tamas.
Tamas.
Tam.
Very good. And which one is high in shift? Dominated by the first one.
Rajas.
Rajas, very good. And
Rajas.
what is
Rajas.
dominated in Vikshipt, the third one? Which one is dominated here?
Sattva.
Very good. Sattva is dominating here. But what are the things which come sometimes is tamas and rajas. Fine, it is butterfly mind. Constantly shifting focus. For example, we all, okay, sometimes we want food, we want water, sometimes we are into work or we are not into work. Okay. Next comes Ekagra Avastha, the crane mind, like a swan or a crane. Okay. Crane basically, because it is very single pointedness, is there, it stands on one leg and focus very carefully to catch a fish. Okay. So this is the avastha where you can go into deep meditation, and niruddha avastha in which there is a total calmness, total and pure consciousness, and it is the achieved state of mind. Now this photo that you can see is like you can see this picture. I clicked this because I got it from my university. So there, this table you can remember. Okay, it'll be easy for you. The state is mood, guna is tamas, symptoms are sleep, delusion, fear, laziness, causes are lust, anger, greed, fluctuation. Now, what are these that we have studied are the stages of consciousness. But what are the things that can be called as causes? They are known as panchakleshas. We'll be covering that as well. Okay. Inclination is written here, vritti is written here, and class is written here. So it is the lower class, general class, aspirants class. Aspirants here means the yogic experience. Clear, not very hard. So we're done with it. Now we can go ahead covering the Panchkosh. Panchkosh will take a longer time. I think we can take it in our next session. We can go ahead with 11 senses you have covered, chittavrittis we have covered, cognition, emotion, and I have told you that Jadunath Sinha's book. You can of course refer to it. The 9 yogantarayas and panchkleshas are something that we can start with. Okay, any questions till now? Stages of consciousness clear हो गया है बहुत अच्छे से. Everyone, can I get few thumbs up if you're here? Are you here? No questions at all? Good. Okay. This is what I told you. अभी अभी मैंने आपको चित्त के बारे में बताया. इनर इंस्ट्रूमेंट भी कहते हैं. अंतःकरण में अंतःकरण चतुष्ट. चतुष्ट means 4 parts. Okay. What are these? मन, बुद्धि, चित्त, अहंकार. So मन is the mind. अगर आपको इसको डाउट आ रहा है समझने के लिए तो आप इसे ऐसे समझ सकते हो कि सिगमंड फ्राइड क्या कहते हैं अपनी साइकोथेरेपी करते समय. जो भी आपके अंदर अनकॉन्शियस है उसे एक तरीके से सरफेस लेवल पे लेके आते हैं, क्योंकि वो अनकॉन्शियस अंदर ही अंदर धीरे धीरे कोई ना कोई प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर रहा है. इट्स सेम लाइक जैसे एक वोल्केनो होता है, अंदर ही अंदर जब वो बहुत ज्यादा टेम्परेचर बढ़ जाता है इट बर्स्ट्स आउट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ समथिंग. इन फिजिकल बॉडी एज वेल, फिजिकल बॉडी में भी जब कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है, मे बी लिवर ठीक से काम नहीं कर रहा है, मे बी टॉक्सिन्स बहुत बढ़ गए हैं, तो कई बार स्किन के ऊपर प्रॉब्लम दिखाई देने लगती है. कई बार वो फीवर चढ़ जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इन्फेक्शन. सिमिलरली जब आपके अनकॉन्शियस में बहुत सारी चीजें इकट्ठी हो जाती हैं, चलो इकट्ठी ना भी हो तो भी कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट, ऐसा इवेंट जो अनअटेंडेड रह गया हो, या फिर आपने कोई ऐसा कर्म किया हो जिसका रिजल्ट इज स्टिल देयर एंड येट टू अप्रोच यू. ओके, तो वो एक तरीके से निकल करके आता है in the form of psychological disorders, in the form of you not being well physically, mentally, right? पर ये अंदर का सिस्टम क्या है जिसको हमें एक्चुअल में एड्रेस करना है. सो दिस इज द चित्त दैट वी नीड टू क्लियर ओवरऑल. अगर आप उसमें कॉन्शियस, अनकॉन्शियस, सबकॉन्शियस सबको मिलाओगे तो वो जो पूरा बनेगा ना, और इसके अलावा भी आप आइडेंटिटी आई फैक्टर को भी मिलाओगे, दैट हु एम आई, ठीक है, उसको भी मिलाओगे और इंटेलेक्ट को भी मिलाओगे. नॉर्मली जब फ्राइड ने सबकॉन्शियस एंड कॉन्शियस वाली फैक्टर दिया दैट वाज लिमिटेड टू लाइक Okay, the consciousness levels or the personality or the self. But यहाँ पे your intellect is also involved. ओके, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन करने की शक्ति, जजमेंट की शक्ति, डिसीजन लेने की शक्ति इज देयर इन द बुद्धि और द इंटेलेक्ट. Suppose your mind says, let's go and have an ice cream, then your intellect or your mind will tell, or your buddhi actually will decide whether you should have it or you should not have it, right? So it will discriminate, it will judge, it will decide what is right, what is wrong, and where should I go. Okay. Now, मन बुद्धि चित्त अहंकार, दिस चित्त के ऊपर जो इंप्रेशंस आते हैं वो बुद्धि के भी आते हैं. दैट मीन्स हमारे ब्रेन इंटेलेक्ट के भी आते हैं, माइंड के भी आते हैं, जो भी इसने सोचा हो समझा हो. एंड वी डू हैव टाइप्स ऑफ माइंड एज आई सेड. और दिस आई फैक्टर के भी आते हैं. सो वट एवर यू एक्सपीरियंस एज एन आई, मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ, like I was the person who felt guilt, or I was the person who was blamed for something, and so many other things, right? Or maybe I did some karma. अब योग में क्या होता है, द मोमेंट यू लेट गो ऑफ थिंग्स and the moment you surrender all your karmas, all your emotions, and everything to the Supreme, what happens is you are letting this ahankar go. This ego factor will not be there. So, something that you don't attach to yourself, it will be easy for you to move on. राइट? कोई चीज आपके साथ अटैच हो जाती है तो आपको उसे छुड़ाने में या फिर उसके साथ डील करने में बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है. बट द मोमेंट आई से, जैसे आप किसी को चोट लगी है, दुनिया में किसी को चोट लगी है, न्यूज पे आ रहा है, इट विल नॉट बी दैट कि आप उससे उतना ज्यादा परेशान हो जाओ. बट अगर आपके फ्रेंड को थोड़ी चोट लग जाए, देन इट विल हैम्पर यू, राइट? सिमिलरली आपकी बॉडी पे कहीं चोट लग जाए, क्यों? क्योंकि आप उससे कनेक्ट हो रहे हो. अब मैं, हमारी क्लास भी ओवर ही होने वाली है, बट आपको ये समझना होगा कि जैसे आपने एक एक्सपेरिमेंट देखा है जिसके अंदर फेक हैंड रखा जाता है, फेक हैंड पे हैमर मारा जाता है और रियल हैंड छुपा हुआ रहता है, और द पर्सन फील्स दैट पेन. उसे वो पेन पेन फील होता है क्योंकि उसके सेंसेस के अकॉर्डिंग और उसके माइंड के अकॉर्डिंग वो उसका खुद का हाथ है, राइट? इसी तरीके से हमारा कनेक्शन हमारी बॉडी के साथ, हमारे नियर एंड डियर वंस के साथ और सबके साथ, राइट? अगर वो सफरिंग क्रिएट कर रहा है, ओके, दैट मीन्स वो एक अटैचमेंट है. अगर वो प्योर लव क्रिएट नहीं कर पा रहा है, हेल्दी वाइब्रेशंस नहीं क्रिएट कर पा रहा है, अगर वो डिवाइन वाइब्रेशंस है, फिर वो वन पॉइंट उस एंटाइटी को नहीं देख पा रहा है विच इज प्रिवलेंट एंड ओमनी प्रेजेंट, that means it's attachment which your mind is interpreting because of this I factor or the ego or the ahankar. It's not attitude wala ahankar, the other one. So the moment we say that let go of attachment, then, and it takes a lot of practice. That's why Patanjali Yoga has said two things, abhyas and vairagya, practice and detachment, practice and detachment, right? With this practice, we can actually be fearless. We can actually be 100% potential with what we have. We can actually let go of the things which we have like kept in our mind, in our chit, and it's the storehouse which is still burdened, and we are not being able to move ahead with 100% of our potential, right? So this is what we deal with. So it's not superficial. Like in modern psychology, it is often said that, okay, you just cry and catharsis is happening, so it's out and over. No, I think it's very deep rooted. It's not just this birth or this life that we are dealing with, but also many past lives that we have gone through. Even if you don't believe in like past life, I think you must know one experiment which happened to be like, okay, I can share with that experiment with you. So a psychologist was doing hypnosis therapy with one client, and the client was going back and back regressing. But at one point of time, it was a woman, she was a woman, and then her voice changes to a man's voice. First of all, the hypnotherapist got a little frightened, and then, but he continued the recording, he continued everything, and then he got to know that, okay, she went into his her past birth where he was actually a man. Okay. And then he started describing. So these are the few things that states that yes, past life do exist, and even science has now agreed to it. So now what? I think our focus should be on present. Our focus should be for wellness. At this very moment, are we well physically, mentally, socially, spiritually, economically, and emotionally? So when we take all these dimensions together, our focus should be how to clear things off. Okay, so the light is already there inside. We just need to clear the glass, and there are 5 glasses. Okay, you can call them as panch kosh or 5 sheets, like one glass Annamay Kosh, Pranmay Kosh, Manomay Kosh, Vigyanmay Kosh, and Anandmay Kosh. So these are like sheets bodily, like related to vital force. Next is related to your mind. Next is related to your intellect. And finally, we have Anandmay Kosh. So it is very much related to the 25 tattvas that we read. Okay, I think that's enough for today. Just go through this so that we can devise out a new method and new way of looking at things. These are not new, to be very honest. These are deep rooted there in our philosophies and Vedas already. It's just the point that we need to revive them for their application into the contemporary problems and issues and disorders into the clinical settings. Done? Fine. So it's time for your attendance. And if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box. I'll be answering them. And yeah, any questions? So we have 48 participants today. Let's mark all of you. Are you still here? I've gone deeper. Yes, you all are here. Happy to know.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I hope it wasn't very hard. You got to know some things. If you still have doubt, I'll send you one video as well. Okay. So we have Indian psychology being taught by Dr. Anuradha Chaudhary, ma'am. She is an expert in Indian psychology. I must say that because she has been into it, and also Sanskrit. So it's there on Swayam. Okay, so I'm simply taking your attendance from who all are present here. Done. Okay, your attendance are marked. Any question? Because in just 1 minute, we're going to end. Okay, let's end this class. Let's pray for everyone's peace and happiness and spread the good vibrations with everyone. Okay, from here, I'm chanting it. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhi.
Thank you, ma'am.
सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमात् भवेत् श्रद्धां मेधां यशः प्रज्ञां विद्यां पुष्टिं श्रयं बलं तेज आयुष्यमारोग्यं देहि मे हव्यवाहन देहि मे हव्यवाहन. Rub your hands, everyone, onto your eyes. And yes, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good day. Yes, take care. Most welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome. Take care.
Ma'am, have you taken attendance? I'm sorry, I forgot to say
Ah.
present.
Done. It's there.